because we've never done these Cornish cross chicks before, so they are getting a little bit bigger faster than we anticipated.
It doesn't walk.
These slings aren't only good for holding babies. Thank you, ladies.
One of the things we started with this greenhouse is we kind of were late to the finish line is getting it ready to go. But we started seeds and got them all out here, and we got sprouts started. And then we had a few days where it hit 75 plus. And it was one of those things where we really hadn't communicated, me and Jesse, on, hey, I'm gone for a lot of the hottest part of the day, and that the greenhouse needed to be open and vented. And so that it just didn't get done a couple days, and we ended up burning up all of our sprouts. Lesson learned, you got to vent this thing during the day, because yesterday I came in at about 12 o'clock. We had left for church, and we'd come back because I had forgot to actually open this greenhouse up. And it was right about, I don't know, it was about 72 outside, but it was over 100 degrees in the greenhouse. Everything was going to dry up and wilt away. So lesson learned, you've got to vent the greenhouse during the day when you get really high daytime highs. We've gone ahead and restarted some of our starts. Some of them are going to be a little later. We've got about 18 tomato plants started. They haven't sprouted yet. And then we've restarted some pepper plants. And then Jessie is going to talk about what she has got started.
So I actually have planted some tomatoes and peppers. So we've got quite a few tomatoes. We'll have a few We'll have a few rows of tomatoes started. And then over here are my flowers and herbs. Yeah, so I've got 2 trays of different flowers and herbs. And a couple of those have started already, but not too many. And then over here I've got the butterfly bush, whatever, I forget what that's called. But hopefully, I'm hoping to plant them in a line along our fence, and then they'll be perennials, and we'll always have them.
Tell me when to stop here.
I think that's good. These chicks are gonna love being on grass. We think we left them in too long in the brooder in the garage. They were just a little bit overcrowded. So we're gonna put them on grass tonight and get them used to being outside. They're already pecking and playing around in here. So I think it'll do them a lot of good to be out here on grass. What?
How old are they now?
3 weeks?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going on their 3rd week. So, and it's funny because we've never done these Cornish cross chicks before, so they are getting a little bit bigger faster than we anticipated. So that's just kind of a learning curve for these kinds of birds. But they're all healthy still. They're all doing really good, so keep chugging along.
On these chicks moving, one of the things that Jesse talked about, they're growing faster than we anticipated. Obviously, they're fast growing. That's why we got them this year. So they're on week 3. So that they overcrowded very quickly in the 2 brooders that we had set up in our garage just because of warmer weather. Or cooler weather. That's the main reason we've had them set up in our garage. They're easier to monitor, things like that. So Charlotte was very observant tonight and said, "Dad, I think they're getting overcrowded." I had checked on them yesterday, but I hadn't really handled them that much. So Charlotte was handling a few of them today and said, "They look really overcrowded, Dad." So good catch on Charlotte's part to really pay attention to maybe close some of the gaps when me and Jesse have been busy. And again, we've had a very good, so far, I think we had 69.
Yeah.
I think we're at 64, 65, one of the two. So we've had a pretty good survival rate in the first 2 weeks. I'm pleased so far.
What are you guys doing?
Making hay bales.
All right.
Smashing it down so much in the buckets that when we push it out, it will be round hay bales. I'm gonna go get a bucket for me. A bucket for me.
All right, so one of the things that we talked about earlier was the greenhouse and how we kind of had a failure to launch there. We had issues with regulating the temperature in our greenhouse, and we lost a lot of our starts. So some of the things we're doing just to combat that is we're buying starts from local stores and things like that, just to kind of supplement some of that.
Really only the cold stuff.
Yeah, cold crop
other stuff, the first stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of it, we're just starting. We're going to be a little later to the game. It's a cold winter, a long winter, and we're finally into spring. You know, now things are growing. So we're just hoping that, you know, we still get some moisture into May and help us get our garden going really well. So that's kind of where we're at. We're last year we really were impatient with gardening, I think, wouldn't you say? I mean, so this year, getting started. So this year, I think we're being a little more patient. We're watching the weather a little closer. We're still learning, but I don't think we'll ever stop doing that on here. One of the other things, though, that you've been working on here lately is kind of trying to get your flower beds and stuff.
Yeah, I've never really cared about or really tried to utilize flowers and pollinator flowers and stuff around the house. But this year I really want to do, and just to beautify the place and just kind of make it pretty, but really to utilize a lot of the space that we have to help out the bees and the butterflies and things like that. Because we do see a lot of those around here, and we want to keep seeing those. And of course they'll help in the garden if we can provide a food source for them.
So why don't we go up and take a look at what you've been working on here.
Okay. So this is our medicine garden, herbal garden up here. We have these 2 yuccas that were here when we moved in, and nobody likes them. And I can't get rid of them. I'm not strong enough to pull them out. I've tried to chop them out with a shovel, and I can't do it. So probably next fall or so we'll maybe hook them up to the tractor and pull them out or something. I don't know. Or the lawnmower, whatever.
That's one way to use it.
I mean, I don't know. But then we've got some comfrey and lemon balm, some kind of tea herbs, and we've got sage. I planted some bulbs over there by the stairs. And then these hostas came up from last year. I've got, I planted the salvia and chrysanthemum today. We've got a lot of things that are up. They're on their way. They haven't showed up yet. And some seeds I planted earlier too. There's chives. There's some more comfrey. This is Monarda, which is a butterfly plant that they like. And then we have this beautiful forsythia monster that won't ever go away. That's another thing that, I mean, I like the forsythia, it's pretty, but it just won't stop coming up over here, so I don't know. Let's see about that. Hey.
He's just washing the egg.
Decorating with things we find around the farm.
Old fuel tank that the kids pulled out.
Of the dump in the woods.
In the woods. All right, guys, thanks for coming along with us. It's getting dark. We're losing our shooting light, and Bo's about to destroy this egg. And
Let us know in the comments what failures you've experienced.
Yeah, and if you've got any lessons learned or things like that, let us know so we can learn from your mistakes.
We all like to commiserate.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. We're out.